All right, friends, we'll start out laying down here. So close your eyes. Any laying down posture that suits you is great. So feel free to interpret arms and legs. I like a little bend in the knees to help the low back release. And sometimes it's nice just at the beginning of the practice to connect your breath with one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And you can feel the breath rise and fall. You can sense your hands moving up and down in space. And we want to start out by cultivating that big, long, deep breath as complete as we can. With each inhale, we want to feel a little more expansion across the tight places in the chest. Maybe you feel that expansion happening in your low back, puffing your belly open. And on the exhale, cultivate strength in the belly. Pull the belly button into your spine. And really allow your shoulder blades to ground here. Sometimes it feels good to almost give them a little extra press down underneath your rib cage. A little bit more release across your shoulders. So hopefully you've noticed as you've been lying here breathing that your body is relaxing, maybe letting go of some tension. This is a great opportunity for us to notice where it's particularly hard to let go. So as you allow yourself to soften and release and let go, where do you feel you're still hanging on? Okay, you might feel your hips kind of holding some tension, and that's quite common. Okay, maybe your belly. Just notice, study your body. Where do you have to let go a little more intentionally? Check out your jaw. Notice if you feel any different from right to left side. You might notice. Right side is more tense, especially if you're right-handed. Left side is more tense if you're left-handed. Notice all that stuff. It's good information to have. Okay, let's start to give it a good stretch out through the arms, reaching back, and through the legs, reaching out. So make yourself super long. Big stretch. Like you just woke up and you're feeling great. And then pull your belly button down. So I want you to engage your abs here in your long stretch. Notice how when you pull your belly button down, okay, your low back feels a little bit more neutral. And if you allow your low belly, your belly button to kind of pop up toward the ceiling, you get this kind of pronounced arch in your low back. So we are always looking for kind of a neutral low back. So belly button down. And let's expand more into the right side. So reach out through the right fingers and toes. Reach, 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 reach. And put a little corresponding contraction in the left side. And we'll start to curve over to the left. So you might kind of shimmy out your hands and your feet until they're as far out as you want them. And pull that belly button down and breathe into your right side body. So you can use your breath to tease open spaces in your right armpit, your low back, your hips, who knows? Maybe one more breath on this side. And then let's come through center. Bring the legs through center. And we'll bring everything over to the right. So starting to contract in the right side as we lengthen out through the left. Maybe we even walk the hands and feet further out. Remember to drop the belly button down so you're not just arching into your low back here. Big breath. And then as you're ready, bring this back in through center. So here we are, back at center, feeling nice and long on both sides. Wrap that belly button downward toward the ground again, like you're trying to anchor it to the mat. And it's okay if your low back doesn't actually touch the mat, okay? Just pull the belly button downward. And we're gonna get the right leg up and the left arm. See if you can touch your right leg somewhere. I think of inhaling to lower them carefully back to the floor and exhaling to switch sides, left arm and right leg, lift. You're trying to touch your leg. And inhaling, slowly lower them, okay? Try to take your time lowering them. We have some extra core work available there. So let's go side to side, okay? Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Keep a little bit of core activity here. Belly button down, anchoring down. So yes, we're waking up your core a little bit. We're waking up your abs. Coordinating right and left sides of the body. Okay, very grounding. Okay, next time you have your left leg up and your right arm, pause. Bend the left knee and use the right hand to move the left knee to the right. So we're twisting it here, okay? You make a cactus arm with your left arm and you can drop that left shoulder blade to the ground and look to the left. Nice breath here. Take some time just twisting. So really make a special effort to put your shoulder blades down. And then even though your shoulder blades are grounding, how would it feel if you arched your back up off the floor with those grounded shoulder blades? And then I want to offer you the opportunity, okay, the possibility that maybe you want to extend the left knee a little bit, maybe just partially, and walk the right hand further down the leg and see how that feels. Keep breathing, look into the left, arching your spine. And maybe today, maybe another day, you extend your left leg fully and grab the outer edge of your left foot. Only if that makes sense. Maybe one more nice breath here. And then come back through center. Come on back. Okay. The left leg and the right arm are up. We're going to lower them and switch sides. Left arm, right leg. Pause. Bend that right knee. And the left hand will point that right knee to the left. And we're in a twist on the other side. So cactus the right arm. Look to the right and make a special effort to ground your shoulder blades. And we'll just breathe here. arch the spine up off the floor as you ground the shoulders and see if that helps deepen your twist. Okay, maybe experiment with extending the right leg here. Maybe just start off with a really gentle partial extension. Just moving your hand down to your calf, maybe. Left hand down to your right calf. And maybe someday, maybe today, who knows, we extend that right knee fully. Grab the outer edge of the foot. So no matter where you are, your primary object is to enjoy yourself, first of all. But you're also thinking of having a long spine and big breath. And then let's bring that right leg back into center. All legs long, all arms long. Take one more nice stretch here, wrapping that belly button down to the center of your mat. As you're ready, pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. If you can interlace your fingers around your shins, great. You can squeeze your knees into your chest. So either way, ground those shoulder blades. Feel your whole back body pressing into the mat. All right. And as you're ready, release your feet to the floor by your hips, hands to the floor by your hips as well. Let's take some bridges, okay, focusing more on spinal mobility for a moment. Inhaling, lift your hips. Remember to keep your knees and your legs moving toward each other as you do that. And look straight up at the ceiling. With your exhale, drop your hips, okay? See if you want to, on your exhale, reach your arms up overhead. Okay, so inhale, lift your hips as your hands come down by your hips or underneath your hips. As you exhale and roll your hips down, reach your arms up overhead. So we're just moving your shoulders, kind of a bonus shoulder movement. Let's take a few rounds, up and down. Okay, start to get really rolly and wavy in your spine. Always moving your tailbone away from your head so that we are as long as we can be. Maybe a few more times, just like this, rolling it up and down, waking up your back body. Maybe one more time. The next time your hips are up, let's pause there and just be. So remember that squeeze between your knees. Your legs are trying to move inward. See if you could point your tailbone really firmly at your knees. So you're kind of using your glutes and pointing your tailbone at your knees. Move the chin away from your chest a little more. Maybe bend your elbows here, and you can really press your shoulder blades and your arms into the floor. Nice stretch across your chest. And if you really like that chest stretch, join your hands underneath you here. You can really push the floor down. Get a great chest stretch. One more big breath right here. And then let's roll the spine down really slowly, okay? Let's take our time. Hands release if you joined them. Upper back takes its time coming down. Breathe. Low or middle back, okay? Tailbone still trying to get away from your head. And finally, the low back comes down. All right, once your hips land, take your feet wide. Take a few windshield wipers. And And then tuck your hands behind your knees. Go ahead and rock it up. If you point all your toes out to one side, you can just sit on your feet. Go ahead and sit on your heels. And if that's uncomfortable, then you can always maybe sit a blanket underneath your hips, or a mat. You can roll up a mat and stick it under your hips. So just find something that works best for you. And if you can stand it, I'd say try to tuck your toes a little bit, okay? It's nice work. Just do it as much as you can stand and then untuck. It's good for your feet. Okay, so we'll get the front of the body a little bit more open. I want to twist you a little bit more actively for a moment. So right fingers behind you. You can just touch the floor behind you with your right fingers, wherever they naturally land. And then see about maybe lifting your hips as you sweep that left hand up. So you're getting a big opening in the front. And by the way, if it's more comfortable to take your fingers out to the right and just lift a little bit, then that's fine too. So you're inhaling when you're lifting, and you're exhaling to swing through center and try the other side. So left fingers behind or out to the left to make it more gentle. And inhaling, lift everything up, peel open your heart to the ceiling. And let's take a few more like that, side to side, okay? Inhaling, one side opens up. Exhale to bring it down. And this could be a really tiny movement, and I'll show you what that might look like. You might just lift your hips a little bit. Okay, they don't have to come up super high. Make it work for you. Maybe 2 or 3 more on each side. Maybe even close your eyes here, okay? And next time you come back through center, let's pause there. If you made it that whole way with your toes tucked, awesome. Your feet got a nice stretch. If you had your toes tucked, you might want to shake it out a little bit and press down the tops of your feet. Okay, sit your hips to one side now. And swing your legs around front again. We're going to slide the right foot in and just plant it on your inner left thigh. Right foot is in. Spine is nice and long. And if you notice that it's difficult to sit up straight here, for example, you feel like it's your spine, you're kind of like reaching, your spine is curling, maybe you feel like you have to lean back, try just putting a bend in your left knee and seeing if that helps, okay? Even if you can extend the left knee, I want you to keep a little micro bend in it anyway and really activate that left leg. So you're trying to kick the floor down, okay? Quad is active too, the front of the thigh. So fingers down around that front leg. We have a long spine here. Long spine, inhale. And with your exhale, think of moving your heart towards your left big toe. So just go as far as you can until your spine starts to round, and then pause there. It might not be a huge distance, and that's okay. Inhale to back out, long spine. And exhale, move your heart towards your left big toe. Just see how far you can go without rounding. Just see what happens. One more time. Big breath in, straighten up, nice and tall. And big exhale, fold forward into it. Let's hold right here. So start out with your hands under your shoulders so that you feel supported. Remember to activate the back of the left leg as if you're trying to kick the floor down. Okay, kick the floor. And if we activate that way, it would help us release a little bit. It doesn't have to be 100% of their strength. Don't feel like you have to crank it. Just give it a little bit of kick. Maybe the fingers walk further. You're still trying to move your heart forward, acknowledging that your spine is rounding. You're keeping it long to the best of your ability. Maybe elbows come down. Maybe you even hang your head. Okay, find some nice breath here. Kick that floor. You can use both your legs to gently resist the floor, and notice how that feels. As if you're trying to press the floor away from you. One more big breath in right here, just resisting the floor. And start to walk your hands back up and in by your hips. And let's pick up the right knee and just point it up. You can use both arms around the right knee to give it a squeeze. Sit up nice and tall here. And then we'll use just the left leg to hold, just the left arm to hold the right leg. Right fingers behind you make you a little taller. And here comes a nice big twist. So we're inhaling to be a little bit longer. Okay, and very important here to press down into that right hip as you exhale and twist. Let's take a few breaths here in this nice twist. So I just want to remind you to push the floor down with your legs, okay? Especially that right hip. If you could make that right hip extra heavy. For a little deeper twist, take the left elbow to the outer right knee. Remember to sit up nice and tall. Maybe one more breath, just like this, okay? And then coming back through center. Keep the right knee pointed up. Keep the right foot on the floor. All hands down. One hand on either side of that left leg. So hands are back where we were before. But this time, we have the right elbow on the inside of the right knee. So just experiment here with how would it feel to tuck your right elbow in front of your right shin. So for some of us, that's where we're going to start working today. We're just going to think about, all right, how do I get the right elbow, the tricep to the right shin? If that's comfortable for you today, you can start to press the elbow into the shin and notice how that kind of propels your heart forward, okay? So check that out. If that works pretty well, walk your fingers forward until you feel like you maybe could reach the right hand behind your back. So you're looping that right knee in your internally rotated arm. Okay, you can think of just patting yourself on the back. Nice work, self. And maybe the left hand comes behind your back too and finds its friend. So squeeze that knee if you've got it. Give it a really nice pull in towards your chest. And same thing, if you're just right here with your elbow on the knee, push the elbow and the knee into each other. You don't have to be down into that deep bind to get some good benefits here. No matter where you are, binding or not, push the floor down with both your legs right now. And get that nice hip release in your right hip and the back of the left leg. Attempt to make your spine long. I know it's challenging right now, but do your best. Let's enjoy one more breath here, okay? And let all this go. Lean back on your hands. This is a good time for some windshield wipers. Knees bent, just windshield wipers. And then let's do everything the same, just on the other side. So this time the right leg will be the long one. And we'll pull the left foot in and plant it on the inside of that right thigh. So sit up tall to the best of your ability. Bend the right knee if it makes it more accessible. Okay, it just kind of opens things up. So always modify and interpret. But no matter where you are, your legs are resisting the floor. So not 100%. Maybe 5 to 10% resistance against the floor. And we'll start to lengthen that spine long on the inhale. And exhale, hinge at your hips. See if you could send your heart towards the right big toe. And just pause where you feel the back start to round. Inhale, back up to that long spine. exhale, hinge forward, pause where you round. One more, big breath in, pull it back. Big exhale, lean into it, and let's hold right here. You might start off just hands under shoulders. Keep your legs active, okay? Maybe you start to fold down to your elbows. Maybe you'd like to let your head hang, but keep your neck long. Now you stretch along the back of the right leg, okay, the glutes, the low back. Maybe one more breath here. And then walk your hands back up by your hips. Okay, grab this left knee and point it straight up. The left foot is on the floor now, and we can use fingers interlaced or maybe forearms cross over the left shin. We just want to make a tall spine because we know we're preparing to twist. So lengthen the spine, okay? And once you feel long enough, use the right arm to hold the left leg, and left hands can come behind you and make you a little taller. Okay, enjoy this nice twist. Make it as deep as you'd like, but remember to push the floor down. Long spine, inhale. Big twist, exhale. Possibly, you deepen the twist by taking the right elbow to the outer left knee, and they can press into each other. Maybe take 2 or 3 more long, slow breaths right here. All right, as you're ready, uncurl yourself from that really nice twist, and then we're keeping this left knee pointed up, okay? So we'll head into a really kind of big, yummy hip opening, so don't feel like you have to push too hard. Okay, we'll start off with our hands inside. The left arm is inside the left knee, and one hand on either side of your right leg. So sit up nice and tall. And then just check out the relationship between the left elbow and the left shin. So if it's not possible today for you to hook your left elbow in front of your left shin, don't worry about it. Just stay right here and work on that relationship. Okay, this is great work right here. But if it's happening pretty well, you can walk the hands out and hook the shin on that tricep. So left tricep to left shin, you can think of pushing and moving that heart forward, okay? It should feel good, no pain. And then maybe you decide it feels so nice pushing the tricep into the shin that you want to loop your left hand all the way around your back, okay? And the right hand can go looking for its friend. And if you have that leg, squeeze it. And remember to resist the floor no matter where you are. And do your best to lengthen that spine. Okay, really nice opening in your left hip, left low back, the back of the right leg. Nice work. Okay, as you are ready, roll yourself up and out of this. Lean back and let's take a few more windshield wipers. Here, see how the hips feel. Okay, and to really open up the hip flexors here for a moment, go ahead and point your fingers out to the side, okay, behind you, so they're under your shoulders. Put your feet on the ground and see about lifting your hips up away from the floor. So push the floor down with your hands and your feet. And maybe it's nice just to look up at the ceiling here with your long neck. And then I want you to think of using your shoulder blades to scoop up your heart. Push that floor. So feeling the front of your body opening up here. Maybe one more big breath in. And exhale, drop your hips. Okay, lengthen out your legs here. But take the feet a little wide. Maybe even as wide as your mat. And then let's walk the hands forward. We're going to take a forward fold here. So fingers walk forward, long spine. And I just want you to take your time folding forward. There's really no rush. So hands under shoulders is good. We want to make sure that the upper body is not hanging. There's not too much curvature in the spine. And I definitely want you to resist any temptation to grab and pull. It's not what we're doing here, okay? We're just folding. So keep that long spine. Remember to resist the ground with your legs so both feet are pressing down into the floor. Maybe elbows is working today. You come to your elbows, maybe drop your head. But if you drop your head to point your nose at the floor, make sure your neck is long. If your nose is pointed at the floor and your feet are kicking down and the backs of your legs feel really open, everything's going great, you may even bring your forehead pretty close to the floor. Maybe one or two more breaths here. And then as you're ready, roll yourself up out of this. You can walk your hands back up. Okay, and let's see how slowly we can come down. So point your tailbone at your toes, start to round your spine. And see if you could just roll down the low back at first, and then take a breath. Roll down the middle back as you exhale, and then take a breath. And finally, the upper back comes down. And you have landed. Okay, from here, flip your palms up. Okay, and roll over to your left side and pick up your left glute, and then pick up your right glute, and then grab your right glute with your right hand, and then sit on it. Same on the left. So rock onto the right hip, grab your left glute with your left hand, and then sit on it. So you're holding your glutes in your palms. I want you to really scoot your shoulder blades and your arms underneath you. So kind of shimmy, worm your arms under you. So you feel like your chest is almost ridiculously puffed upwards. And then maybe you bend your knees just enough to put your feet on the ground. And then as you're ready, press into your elbows, scooping your heart up, okay, with your big shoulder blades. Maybe you let your head hang, but try to keep your neck long on all sides, okay? Big breath in here, lift your heart. Okay. And lift it some more, keep breathing. Push down into your elbows. You're always preserving a little slight tuck in your chin here, okay? You're never just blasting the chin open. Maybe one more breath here. And let it go. You can pull your chin back in towards your chest and drop yourself back down. Take your hands out from underneath you. And let's do a shoulder stand, all right? Let's come up into a shoulder stand. So drop your hands by your hips, press into the floor, and bring your knees all the way up by your forehead. And I like to pause here and make sure that I set up a really stable base. So from here, grab your lowest ribs and then walk your hands as high up, or as low, I should say. Walk your hands as close to the floor as you can on your ribs. And then grab tight. Push into your elbows, push into your shoulder blades, and even push into the back of your head. That's your base now. Okay, as you're ready, maybe the knees point up. Maybe you just keep your knees tucked in, and that's enough for you. Okay, maybe the legs point up too. I want you to really extend through your legs here and make sure you're looking straight up, okay? You're not trying to look at your belly button. Extend your neck nice and long. Breathe here. We'll take several more breaths in a shoulder stand. One of the most incredible postures for you as far as benefits. Reach out through your toes, press into your base. Your upper body pushes down. Maybe 3 more long, slow breaths. Completely fill the lungs and empty. 2 more. Last breath. As you're ready, bend the knees back in. Pause when your knees are hovering over your forehead to release your hands back to the floor. And I want you to use the strength of your upper body to roll down in extreme slow motion. So point your toes back behind you and 1 vertebra per breath. So slow. Roll it down. Take your time. Okay, the longer you take here, the more time all the little muscles of your spine have to let go. Try to point the toes back behind you as long as you can. Okay, when you finally land, we'll just seal things off with a little twist, okay? Cross your right knee over your left. Maybe drop your feet just so you can move your hips a little to the right. And drop your knees to the left. Look to the right here. Arch your spine up as you ground your shoulder blades. Big breath here. Okay, notice your body cooling down after your practice. Heart rate, breath rate coming down. Take your time bringing the legs through center. And let's cross the other way. This time the left leg crosses over. We might want to move the hips a little bit to the left and drop the knees to the right. Look to the left. Okay, maybe make a little extra special effort to ground your shoulder blades a little further away from your hips here so your spine is long. Nice breath. Lift that heart. Strong belly on the exhales. As you are ready, rock the legs back, up and in. Go ahead and find your resting posture here. Okay, arms and legs out long. Breathing through your nose, eyes closed. Let go of all effort. And surrender any sense of doing. Just allow yourself to be here for a little while. Notice the sensations that your practice stirred up. And let yourself kind of soak that up for a little while. And in the meantime, I want to invite you to cultivate a moment of bliss. Think of something really good. Or imagine a glow in and around your body of whatever color you think it might be. Okay? And imagine with each breath that glow gets brighter and more beautiful and bigger. And it spreads outward in all directions. This is where we'll end our practice. So please keep resting just like this as long as you can. Thank you so much for joining me.